It's Royal Rumble Fallout time. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Let's go.
Let's go. This ain't the Rock Night. Oh, this game he stink.
Oh shit!
It's gone.
Good evening, A2D Radio. By God, it is Saturday night, and you know what that means. It's time. It's time. Oh, yes, it's time for another episode of In This Very Ring. I am your host, the Commissioner. I am Ritz, and joining me, as always, the mayor of Toasty Town himself, the one they call Butters. Butters, what's going on, my guy? Did you can't... I mean, the only people that can't see were the ones listening on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, Speaker, and anywhere you get your podcasting services.
Yeah, I just went there. I'm good. I'm doing good. A little cold, but I'm doing good.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. So, the Royal Rumble was 1 week ago, and we had a fantastic, albeit a fucking mess, of a reaction show.
Tell me about it.
Women's Royal Rumble, and I'll leave it at that. If you were there, you know. If you don't, you missed it. But we have the fallout for you tonight. We're also going to talk about AEW. Big things happening over there. Two things of note. We're going to talk about CM Punk, MJF, and then we're going to talk about Tony Khan's announcement for next week on Dynamite, teasing a Forbidden Door signing. But first, I can't believe that we're going to do that before we do anything. Before we get to the hard stuff. We got to thank
you already ready for the hard stuff?
I was ready for the hard stuff when I got off work tonight. Okay. Body Check Wellness is a line of products that promote wellness, balance, and recovery by using the full potential of hemp. They come in extracts, blends, gummies, and topicals. Use promo code HD for 25% off your order at bodycheckwellness.com. And we thank them for sponsoring today's podcast. Yes, I stole that from Conrad Thompson. So, begrudgingly, Goldberg will beat Roman Reigns in Saudi Arabia for the Universal Championship. Agree, disagree. I'm going to go pour me a stiff drink. Butters, what do you got?
Well, let's see. Goldberg is back. I can't believe I'm saying that, but dear God, I don't know why his ass is back. No, I don't see it happening. I still think WWE's direction is Roman versus Brock at Mania. I just think it's a match to give Roman somebody to go against at Saudi, even though he probably could have just said Biggie versus Roman.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I mean, you got Biggie back on the blue brand. You got Drew on the blue brand. I mean, fuck it. You could just put Happy Corbin in there just for shits and giggles because it's a Saudi show.
You shut your mouth.
But at the end of the day, I guess it's to draw money in Saudi Arabia. It gives Goldberg a huge-ass paycheck, but at the end of the day, nah, don't see it happen. I'm going to disagree with this one. Goldberg is not beating Roman because I just don't see Goldberg versus Brock at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to disagree. I don't think Roman... I'm really scared. Hold on. I'm sorry. Normally, I don't jump straight to the comments like this, but I got to go to Monday Morning Quarterback, HD Wednesday night host Ryan Brodo says, "Hello, gentlemen, and happy birthday, Andy."
Excuse me?
I'm really scared. Why is it my birthday? Considering my birthday was back in December. This is never good. This is never good.
No.
Ryan's like this, something bad has happened. Something very, very bad has happened.
Did he start drinking early too?
No. Something tells me it has to do with the Sixers, but you know. Birds of a feather, Pete Evans.
I mean, that probably had me drinking too.
Says, yo, couldn't type disagree fast enough. AEW Wednesday nights, Frank Vespi says, hey, yo, sorry to bother you at work. I've got to say, Goldberg, again, yawn. Hard disagree to the poll. Captain Negative himself here at HUD Radio. Goldberg, really? He sunk in 1999. Can't imagine him now. Hopefully Roman sends him to the retirement for good. That's from Rob Brinkman, host of Rant Booth and Sport Towns. Hoggy Happy Hours, Brian Daly says, hey, fellas. Brian Kaufman, any chance Roman loses? Doubt it, but who knows with WWE? I'll cry. Brinkman goes on to say that Royal Rumble stunk, by the way. What a shock. Lesnar comes in at 30 to win. Yawn City. Please see previous comment. Brinkman, again, Shane McMahon fired by his dad. We'll get into that later. And, gee, I wonder who's going to win the Rumble match. Betcha Brock. All right. And then Jake Friel, Fan Friday host, says, what's up, boys? I'm going to disagree to the poll.
Man, I think nobody's going to agree to this damn poll.
I don't think so either. I don't think so either. And this was the biggest problem that I had with this show this week is like putting a poll question together. Normally my poll is figured out by like Thursday, and I just wait till Friday on just a happenstance.
Yeah, because I think there's been one or two Fridays where it ends up changing real quick.
Yeah.
You know, just because it's Friday, it's SmackDown. The blue brand, you never know what the hell's going to happen. They like to blow shit up and make Raw look really, really bad.
But this week, I was like, man, Brock is on both shows. Ronda picked Charlotte.
Was Brock even there Friday?
I don't think so.
That's my thing. Is he claimed to appear? He was going to appear on SmackDown, and next thing I know, I don't hear hide nor hair of Brock being there. Only Goldberg.
And then MJF beat CM Punk, which we're going to get to later.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting on Twitter, and I know I want it to be around Goldberg because literally every person associated with professional wrestling hates this idea.
It's a Saudi show. To me, it's a throw-off show. So,
but and I was gonna do something with that too, but I'm gonna save that for next week. But here's what's hysterical. 4 or 5 months ago, we were sitting here saying that the Saudi Arabia show actually mattered. Like the Saudi Arabia show was actually really good,
and
it was great. I loved it. Right?
Yeah,
it might have been the best pay-per-view of last year for the WWE.
But this also gives us the match that we didn't get. What was it? Last year, the year before?
This is the match we didn't want.
I know, but it was the WrestleMania match that didn't happen. Now it's finally happening, and that's fine. It's on a Saudi show. It's not on like a big WrestleMania show.
I struggle so much with this. It just makes me so mad. Like
I think what really pisses people off is the fact that Goldberg can come out there, say, I want your title next. I got it next. You ain't shit you can do about it. Walks off, and then he's automatically got a title shot. Like,
and what's so funny
it's like, I'm Goldberg. I get the shot.
I was just like, I remember when Goldberg came back. What was it? 5 years ago, 6 years ago, something like that.
I think it was 2016.
Yeah, I remember the night. I remember everything. Right? I remember how hyped I got because it was Goldberg, and I loved Goldberg in WCW. I loved him in WWE. Right? I was like, oh my god, it's Goldberg, and
that's
back when I started traveling for pay-per-views. And
I
was
really
like,
lost my shit when they announced him in the video game first. I'm like, oh my god, does this mean he's coming
see,
back?
I stopped playing the game, so I didn't give a shit.
Well, no. It was just the advertisement for the game. I
Yeah,
didn't
no,
play
I
the
didn't
game
give a shit about that at all.
but I'm just thinking at that time, I'm thinking, oh my god, is he coming back? Is he about to make it, a return? Like, and then when it happened, it's like, oh my god.
And
now you're just like, oh my god.
I remember everything. I knew what was happening. I was going to get to see Goldberg soon because I think we were going to the Royal Rumble that year.
Mm-hmm.
And he was teased for it. All these pieces are just falling into place.
Yeah.
And now it's like, okay, Saudi's coming up. Goldberg's coming back.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to be in a title shot because it's in his contract. It's everything like that. And to a very, very certain extent, I'm okay with that. Okay.
Yeah, because I think Saudi shows are separate from his contract.
No. Stop. What pisses me off.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
What sets me off about it is you're going to take somebody who we have a distinctive program with.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in Roman Reigns. Brock Godfuck Lesnar just won the Royal Rumble not even a full week ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been decided that Brock is going after Roman, right? There's a story there. There's a lot of fucking backstory there. There's and rather than saying, hey, Bobby, it's you and Goldberg at Saudi because it doesn't make any sense, nobody's going to give a fuck. Right? You just won the title. You're going to go through Goldberg. You have no program started. Fine. Cool. And we all walk the fuck away.
And so that would make what? Elimination Chamber a number one contenders match for Bobby?
Yes. Absolutely.
I'd take that over what they have now.
What it fucking used to be. But and this is not I know that part of this has to do with the fact of Saudi. Okay? Mm-hmm. It's Saudi. They want to see certain people, borderline contractually obligated to see certain people. I get it. I'm fine with it. On paper. But then when it comes time to talk about it,
mm-hmm.
I can't be okay with it. Because in my heart of hearts, in the core of who I am and what I am, this makes no sense. Why? Let's just paint a picture, okay? I'm going to get comfy. You should too. I strongly recommend it. Bobby Lashley beats Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble with the help of Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
Because Paul Heyman turned on Brock. Okay, fine. I love everything about that. I'm excited for it. I said it on the show last week. That's the story I'm tuning in for. Okay. Monday night. Brock's going to come out. All right, fine. I get it. You're going to have him make the rounds because he can. Fuck it. I'm all for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then Brock says something to the extent of, and I will not pull up the transcript. It's going to make me even more mad. I'm going to pick Roman to fight at WrestleMania. But hey, Bobby, I want my rematch at Saudi inside the chamber. I'm coming for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This still fits my title unification story. So,
well, he even brought that up in the promo too.
Sure. Ask me if I remember the promo.
No, I'm just saying. He did bring that up that he wants to go on a win chamber and make it title versus title.
And I'm fine with that Because selfishly, and I'm a selfish bastard, that works for my narrative. I can come on the air as soon as it's all official and go, ha, fuckers, I was right. Here's the clip. Don't think I won't. Okay?
No, I know you will. My thing is,
like, I will physically have a clip.
I know you will. That's what I'm saying. I know you will.
When it happens, with the time and the god fucking date, and say, that's when I said Brock was going to unify the titles.
Well, no.
And
here's the thing.
If I'm wrong, I'll eat crow. I'm still on my.
No. I don't.
What?
No, I was saying,
You're
but who's to say? Who's to say it's to unify the titles? Who's to say it's just not going to have title versus title, kind of like they did with Becky? Just hold both belts and then eventually lose one to somebody else.
I was on a roll, and I stopped for that. Shut up. Shut up. So we get... What the fuck? Is that a crowbar? How do you just have a random crowbar just lying around? You know what? No. I don't want to know. I'm going back on my soapbox. Put the power tools away. All right. Shut up. So, fast forward to Friday. Everything is all honky-dory. I'm excited to see Roman's response to Brock.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know at what time. I don't know at what point in the day. I don't know when I first heard about it. It might have been Thursday and I was just numb to it. It never processed with me. But somebody tells me that Goldberg's in the ring with Roman. And this is my response. What? And there's pause. There's an awkward pause. It turns into a long, uncomfortable pause. And I said, what is he doing in the ring with Roman Reigns? And by the time I can get my stream turned on to watch this, the segment's over. So, what does any self-respecting, self-loathing wrestling fan do? Go to Twitter. And it's there on Twitter I find out that Roman Reigns and Bill Goldberg will fight in Saudi Arabia for the Universal title. And now I have an issue. Because when you should have been addressing Brock, you have to deal with Goldberg. You have to defend when the title shouldn't be defended until Brock. You have to defend it against Goldberg. Roman Reigns should sit at fucking home for the next 60, what is it? No, at this point that's been 7, so we'll do a little math here, 56 days.
Mm-hmm.
Until WrestleMania. And let Paul Heyman literally build this match by himself. Bring those two assholes back the week before and we do a pull-apart brawl. And I'm a happy camper.
Oh, yeah.
But no. No, we have to put Roman against Goldberg. I love Goldberg. I'm a Goldberg fan through and through. I have a ton of respect for the guy. But I swear to God, if Goldberg goes for that jackhammer and fucks up Roman Reigns to the point that Roman Reigns is unable to compete at WrestleMania because of an injury sustained in that match, I'm calling for his head on a platter.
You wouldn't be the only one calling for his head on the platter. You'd have the entire internet wrestling community calling for his head on a platter.
Fucking shit.
You just be the one leading the charge because you're the loudest.
Absolutely. And I have a microphone that I don't even truly need. It's so earth-shattering. It's not even a word.
Earth-shattering is what you're looking for.
But I was trying to put a Lee at the end of it, and it's not a word.
We make it a word. This is an in this very ring word.
This is groundbreakingly stupid.
I gotta agree with you. I mean, it made no sense for Goldberg to come out, challenge, and walk away. It made no sense for it to be Goldberg versus Roman for the title.
Like, if you're Roman, you laugh at this old motherfucker. Like, you just laugh at him and tell him to fuck off. You're the tribal chief. You literally... Hold on.
I mean, Goldberg's laughing all the way to the bank.
You literally can just go, fuck you.
Yeah.
This is mine,
Mm-hmm.
not yours. This is my yard, not yours. This is my island. Go fuck off back to the island of irrelevancy. You will acknowledge me as your tribal chief, and we will never speak of this again.
Well, what was crazy?
Goldberg goes away.
What was crazy is I watched the promo. Is Goldberg acknowledges Roman Reigns. Then you had this long, awkward pause.
Of course you do. I picked this up. I'm now holding this rest of the show.
But it's, I acknowledge you as next. You know, it's like, oh my God. Because Roman's thinking, oh my God, he's acknowledging me. Fuck yeah. And then it's like you get the you're next thing, and I'm like,
again, I can't tell you how many times Roman just needs to go, fuck you.
it's true. He should, but it's not going to. It's whatever pays the bills.
It's just so infuriating. We've got a ton of comments over here. I was on a soapbox, so I just ignored.
Oh yeah, they're fire. The comments are firing off.
Brodo says, I wanted to wish you a happy birthday ahead of time. You're like 10 months too early. It's going to be Roman Brock at WrestleMania for the title, says Brian Daly. Don chimes in, what's up, fellas?
What's up, Don?
Goldberg will lose to Roman. Up there's Don trolling. Thank you, Don. Frank Vespi, at least AEW has an open door policy. Can't wait to see what Tony has up his sleeve. Looking forward to good wrestling programming. Oh, you stick around. We're going to talk because I'm going to shit on some stuff. Frank Vespi, world's worst wrestling themed sentences. Dave Meltzer gives a match 6 stars in a Saudi Arabia pay-per-view. Why do I put his comments up? God damn it. Tom Marnone, I'm going to disagree to the poll. That's a very smart play.
Right.
He says, what's up? What's up, buddy?
What's up, Tom?
Jake Friels just starts laughing at you with the crowbar and says, what the hell's going on?
I'm the crowbar man.
Joey DiBardino, Andy's mad as hell. Acknowledge him. Don. Andy, how did you win that belt? It's called I paid for it.
Yeah, I won it with my credit card.
It cost one swipe. You know why? Because everybody has a price for the $1 million Ritz.
It was a 4 count. My PIN number.
Wait. That was good. It was a 4 count. My PIN number. I'm so fucking using that from now on. I like that. Frank Vespi keeps soapboxing. It was so boxingly amazing. Why does that work? But earth-shatteringly does not work.
Soapboxingly. I just don't see it.
Don laughs at you. Thought that was good. The $1 million Ritz and crowbar man. Goldberg's been on a losing streak to Braun and Mania. Roman's going to continue the streak. It's from Ted over on Twitch. And Cam says, hold on, you have a price. Cam,
You might want to answer this very, very.
But I feel like Cam needs to go back and rethink the question.
Tread lightly.
Just everybody, though. Like, everybody has a price, but I'm not just everybody. Anybody and anything can be bought with the right amount of money. And that was evident when Paul Heyman turned on Roman Reigns.
Yeah. I mean, it was a nice turn. It was a great moment.
I loved it. It should have happened back at day one.
And then you go in my opinion, you shit on it when you have Goldberg come out.
Exactly.
Because you did not further the storyline any.
We're going to spend the next 2 weeks talking about Goldberg and Roman when I don't want to talk about Goldberg and Roman.
Because you should have furthered the Lesnar storyline with Lesnar coming out like he said he was going to. You know, have Paul Heyman hide like a little coward.
Do you have any idea how mad I'm going to be if Brock wins the Chamber and Roman loses the Goldberg?
It's not happening, but
Do you have any idea? Because that show, that Saudi show, happens during the day on Saturday the 19th.
I know. I'm gonna feel the earth move when it happens.
Guess what happens when we come on the air that night?
What?
I'm gonna throw something. I'm gonna be fuming. I might not even wait. I might not even wait until we get on the air.
Something tells me that if it happens, you're going to interrupt somebody's show during the day.
There is no show during the day. I'm going to walk out to my fucking truck and I'm going to shoot something. And it's going to be loud. And it's going to be angry. And it's going to be aggressive. And I'm going to be pretty pissed.
And the customer's going to be like, who the fuck is that guy?
No, because I will purposely drive to the back of the lot where nobody goes. I'll put a jacket on that covers up the dealership. I will do everything in my power to make it known that I am nowhere near.
And they're still going to question who's yelling.
And I am going to eviscerate everything that is this company for just a brief moment.
Well, we all know it ain't happening, so you ain't got to worry about eviscerating anybody. We know it's just we know all it is
Do you put it past them?
No. I mean, I wouldn't put it past them, but still, I still believe at the end of the day, it's just an in-between to get to Mania, which there shouldn't be.
Why do you need it?
You don't, because in my opinion, this puts Roman more at risk of exposure to COVID.
Oh, fuck that too.
Well, no. Here's my thing though. You put Roman more at risk of exposure to COVID, and then you leave him off of WrestleMania. So why have him wrestle at Saudi when you've already got a title match at Saudi? Why not wait and just further the Roman Brock storyline to keep him out of the...
Because we're fucking idiots. That's why.
You know, because you had this issue at day one. And now you have him going to Saudi, coming back.
But all right. Stop.
I'm just saying.
I'm going to try with everything that I have in my body to be nice, to be correct, to not piss anybody off. But I don't want to hear about how we put him more at risk for COVID. Fuck that. I'm not concerned about that because he'll be back in 5 fucking days. What I'm concerned about is a guy that's older than fucking dirt that can't lift anybody up, putting him in a jackhammer and dropping him on his neck. Does nobody think this through? When you're sitting in a creative meeting in a $1 billion company, let's take the hottest thing we have going today and put it up against something that was hot when none of our target audience was alive.
Here's the problem. Creative doesn't have final say. They may not have wanted. They may not have wanted Brock versus. I mean, not Brock. Roman versus Goldberg. Elimination Chamber. They may have wanted something else to get in between, but then you have Vince going, no. We're gonna have Roman versus Goldberg.
But we're not playing creative didn't do it. It's all Vince. Blah blah blah. Everybody's at fucking fault here. There is nobody, literally nobody is safe from this decision because there was some asshole in the bowels of whatever fucking building they're calling WWE headquarters that said, you know what? This is some really good shit.
Yeah.
He's going to love this. I'm going to take it to somebody higher up than me.
Okay.
And up the food chain it goes. So everybody that thought this was a good idea, everybody that whispered in Vince's ear and got Vince on board with the idea of Goldberg and Roman in Saudi Arabia. No. Just absolutely no.
No. Okay.
This has been... I get it. I understand, okay? We promised the Saudis Roman versus Goldberg at some point. Fine. Okay? But why do you have to do it now? Why can't you go back to the Saudis and go, hey, as much as we would love to give you this match on this pay-per-view, it just doesn't make sense because the Royal Rumble was 3 weeks ago. By the time we get to Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? We're going to come back in about 6 months, and we'll make sure that if it doesn't make sense, that it's at least happening. Right? We'll take because you know what? In 6 months' time, if Goldberg's in a program with Big E or whatever have you, and it's announced Goldberg versus Roman at Saudi Arabia, fine. Because WrestleMania is not 7 weeks away.
True.
But WrestleMania is like, I'm going to wake up in the morning and it's going to be WrestleMania. That's what it feels like right now. And it's just flabbergasting that we're even considering this. We spent half an hour talking about Goldberg.
Ew.
Like, are you kidding me? And Ted, I get it, okay? The Saudi prince pays WWE Cinema. I get it. It's fine. But again, the Saudis are, I would have to think in my heart of hearts that if they went to the Saudis and said, hey, this doesn't make sense. I can't do this right now.
Not from a storyline perspective.
That the Saudis would go, you know what? You're right. We want everything to make sense for you. We're going to wait for that match.
Mm-hmm.
But did we even try? Who knows? I'm done talking about Goldberg. We're moving on because I'm not sure, I might have a heart attack.
Don't do that.
Ugh. So, that rant, subsequent topic, was brought to you by our friends at SpecializedPhysicalTherapy.com. Dr. Paul Vandell and his team are the best at physical therapy. God knows I might need some after this. So check them out at Burlington and Cherry Hill, New Jersey, or on the web at SpecializedPhysicalTherapy.com. Moving on from one cluster to another, Ronda Rousey selected her opponent for WrestleMania.
Surprise, surprise.
This Ronda part is going to be brought to you by Alan Foy of eXp Realty. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, looking for a change in career brokerage, contact Alan Foy of eXp Realty LLC at 302-682-8820. Okay, it's Ronda versus Charlotte. I like this.
I do too.
I don't know if I like Becky versus Lita at Elimination Chamber.
It'll be interesting.
I don't hate that. I'm not sold on it yet either. It's
But
gonna be one of those where I go,
it gets it out of the way so you don't put it at Mania.
yes, but there is a fear that I have.
Uh-oh. I think I know where you're going with this, and I don't like it either.
That if somehow, some way, in some weird, twisted, fucked up society,
Some sort of twist of fate.
good pun, Lita beats Becky, and Becky figures out a way to insert herself in the Ronda Charlotte match.
Oh, God. I really don't see it happening because I don't think Becky really wants to work with Charlotte right now. After all the bullshit that's been going down and the way how Becky feels about Charlotte, I don't see it happening.
I could only get that lucky.
I think maybe, a few years down the line, maybe once everything's cooled down, but right now, I don't see it. Because at the end of the day, Becky and Charlotte are still at odds. They could care less about each other.
By me.
That keeps them far fucking away from each other on two separate brands. I would rather at WrestleMania see Bianca versus Becky, Liv versus Becky, any other fucking woman versus Becky, but Charlotte. I really don't want to see those three, locked in a match together. At the end of the day, fuck it, you can give me Lita versus Becky at Mania for the title again. If Lita wins it, I don't give a shit. Just don't insert her into the match with Ronda Rousey. Because you already started off strong with the Ronda Rousey storyline versus Charlotte by having Charlotte talk shit about Ronda's kid.
Which was ballsy in of itself.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You already started off strong. Now keep it that way. If you insert Becky, all you're going to do is oversaturate it. It's going to get stale. It's going to get watered down, and nobody's going to like it. Because you've got that one-on-one interaction right now. Keep it that way. Stick with Raw. Stick with Becky versus Bianca, Becky versus Liv, Becky versus, hell, you could move Naomi to Raw and do it. I don't care. At the end of the day, you keep your little box over here with these two inside the box and don't fucking open it to WrestleMania. And then you keep her in her little sandbox playing with her little toys on Raw.
But see, and this is where, and we talked about it. Oh God, what was it? It was last week.
Yeah, it was.
Ronda won.
Yeah, it was Rumble.
There is a part of me though that wants it to be Becky Ronda.
Mm-hmm.
So bad.
Because you want that full blown finish.
Yeah,
and I understand that.
Ronda Charlotte, it doesn't excite me, but at the same time it does, because I know it'll be a good match regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Especially given the fact that Ronda, she's not going to compete leading up to WrestleMania. We know that.
Well, which brings up my question. After what?
One more time.
Huh?
Cut me off one more time.
Go ahead. Continue. No, continue.
Okay. Thank you. We know that Ronda's not going to wrestle every week like she was doing before.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we know that Charlotte is somebody that can take Ronda, make her look better. Because if you go back and you watch the Rumble, she was holding back on punches, and it didn't look as good as it was before she left. Understandable, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you're gearing up for WrestleMania, you've got to put her with somebody that can carry that match and make them both look good. And unfortunately, I don't think Becky is that person this time around.
Mm-hmm.
Now go ahead.
What I was gonna say is, with how everything ended in the promo, Ronda putting her hands on Sonya, does that give an indefinite suspension till Mania?
No.
Because Sonya was in her jacket, so she's the boss. Naomi's not supposed to put her. Nobody can put their hands on the boss if she's got the jacket on. But at the same time, Ronda was somewhat defending herself by throwing Naomi off of her back. But again, like I said, does this incident is what keeps Ronda out till Mania? Is this their out?
No, let me explain. Let me give my thought, because I actually think the Sonya thing means so much more than people are giving it credit for. In the pure sense of Sonya got involved in the Ronda Charlotte thing when Sonya had no reason to.
Mm-hmm.
And then she jumped on Ronda's back. She had no reason to.
Correct.
It's an abuse of power.
Yep.
And this is going to play into her feud with Naomi.
So what you're saying is we could possibly see this putting Sonya Deville as a full-time superstar competitor instead of...
This is part of her transition out. Right?
Okay.
Naomi versus Charlotte, right, at SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
This is how they do it, because we know that Sonya is going to get involved in that match, and that's when Adam Pearce is going to be like, look, I've had enough. Right? Or Vince is going to come out, look, somebody's going to come out, I've had enough. If you want to get physically involved in these things, then you can go back to being a full-time competitor.
I think what we have is another Bischoff.
Well,
no. I think we have another Bischoff moment with, like we did with Bischoff and Pierce a few weeks back, with the whole Sonya thing. I think another legend comes in, like say maybe Teddy Long or somebody comes in and gives Pierce the advice to just make her a full-time competitor.
Maybe.
Just to kind of give Pierce that whole... I did kind of like I said, kind of like Bischoff did.
Cam, with them doing this Champions versus Champions match at Mania on the men's side, you think they set up the women doing the same thing, but with Ronda and Becky down the line? Yes. I think there is a part of me that says Ronda beats Charlotte at Mania.
Mm-hmm.
And you can keep Ronda as champion for a while.
At least till SummerSlam or Survivor Series.
Exactly. You get the payoff that means nothing. The women's Money in the Bank cashes in when Becky beats Ronda. Or even if Becky doesn't beat Ronda, women's Money in the Bank cashes in, beats Ronda because Ronda's exhausted. And that's how you get Ronda off TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I am very upset today. It's been a week. What do you want? Deal with it. What's the payoff of having title versus title between Brock and Roman? Title unification. Absolutely.
Nah, I more see it kind of like they did with Becky 2 belts. I think it's just going to be title versus title. They hold it till they drop one. I don't think it's going to be unified. I think if they do title versus title, it's just going to be title versus title, not unification.
No, it's going to be unification. And the only reason being is people are calling for it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't, if nobody was talking title unification, like we weren't talking about title unification back when it was Becky 2 belts. Right?
Yeah.
Nobody brought it up, but it's been talked about. So you can't put the title on Brock and not unify the titles at this point. Or you can't put the titles on Roman and not unify them at this point.
Yeah, you could, because then you have a legitimate challenger come in and take the one title off of Roman and bring it back to Raw.
Here's the other kicker. They're a wrestling company. Okay? Have one fucking title and have that asshole bounce back and forth between the two shows. You're doing it now anyway.
Oh, I get that, and I understand that.
Because let's be real. I love what Bobby Lashley is doing, but that title doesn't fucking matter right now. So unify them. Make it one champion. Put it on somebody like a Brock or a Roman that can easily and understandably so bounce between the two shows and let you build up your talent to where, hey, you know what? Somebody like Bobby Lashley, and again, I love Bobby. I don't think he's ready for this yet, but somebody like a Bobby Lashley or a Big E or a Drew McIntyre or insert AJ. AJ could do it, but and AJ Styles could bounce back and forth between the two shows.
That's who needs to be Roman's next legitimate challenger. Not Drew, not Big E, AJ.
But that's my point, though. Right? You unify them and you start putting these names because that's the only way. I'm sorry. I don't care what anybody else says, but that's the only way that some of these names are really going to become big top tier names.
Yeah.
Right? Like Roman Reigns is a name that everybody knows. Brock Lesnar is a name that everybody knows. Wrestling fan or not, you know the name. Right? Nobody knows who Big E is or AJ Styles or Bobby Lashley or, right?
You'd have to be hiding under the rock to not know these names, though.
But we're wrestling fans, though. I'm talking about anybody.
I mean, this is true. I mean,
that's my point.
When you bring up, say wrestling, all people are going to tell you is Rock, Stone Cold, Hogan, Andre, Cena.
The Macho Man.
They're going to bring up all these old names, not these new ones, because they're not watching anything. Yeah, exactly. The NW. Oh, my God.
But I like Austin Theory, though. Right? Like, I'm okay. And Austin Theory, again, is somebody because you look at what he did in Evolve, and they put him with Vince, and it's kind of working right now.
I hope he shines heavy in the chamber.
Guys, everybody stop. I get AJ is bigger than I think. But it's not even... I get AJ's a big name. Okay? But again, we're all wrestling fans.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a wrestling fan, you should know who AJ Styles is. But I'm talking about Joe Blow on the street. Hey, what do you know about pro wrestling? Well, I know Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, The Rock, Undertaker, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan. Those are probably your top 6 out the rip. So everybody stop. I'm not saying bad things about AJ, but we are all wrestling fans. If there's somebody in this chat that doesn't know who AJ Styles is, fucking get out of here and go watch a match. Like, I'm sorry, but to sit there and try to tell me that AJ's bigger than you think, AJ, shit. But we're wrestling fans, guys.
We know how big AJ is.
And Rosca, stop with the football. I'm not talking about football. Go away.
Every week it delves into football.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it this week. And yes, Ted, I'm not even talking about getting newbies in the building. I don't care if they come in the building or not. I don't give a fuck.
You're talking about taking Joe Blow off the sidewalk and asking him if he knows who such and such is in wrestling.
Just make them a big name in the world. John Cena is a big name. The Rock is a big name. Undertaker, Stone Cold, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, right? Other than Roman Reigns, is there anybody from the last 15 years that I've mentioned?
Trying to think off the top of my head.
No, maybe The Miz. Right?
Yeah,
the Miz only because he does Dancing with the Stars. Right? So I'll give you The Miz.
Maybe Cody Rhodes because of his big show.
Cody's still on the fence for me with that. I don't think the Go Big Show is as popular as people.
Well, I understand that, but it's one of those. It's still one of those live, shows, and Cody Rhodes on there, so they're gonna wonder who the hell he is and look him up.
Possibly, yeah.
But
all right, Cam's right. Randy.
Yeah.
I could see Randy, but maybe. Right, but again, though, all right, let's take Randy and let's take Chris Jericho, like Ted says. When did they get into the business, though, guys? We're talking about people that have been in the business since I was in fucking middle school.
Mm-hmm.
I graduated in 2010. From 2010 to now, other than Roman Reigns and The Miz, who wrestling today has made a name for themselves in the last 12 years? Chris Jericho made his name. He interrupted the fucking Rock on Raw. Randy Orton was the youngest WWE champion in history. Okay? I get it. I agree with you. These are people that are still wrestling that people know. But we're talking about the future of this industry. Right? We all want to talk about how AEW is better than WWE, right? Everybody in here wants to tell me how AEW is better than WWE. Sammy Guevara, MJF, Darby Allin. 3 of the biggest names over in AEW right now, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If I walked on the street and I said, hey, have you ever heard of Sammy Guevara, MJF, or Darby Allin? Out of 10 people, I'll put all the money in my pocket versus all the money in your pocket, that I'm going to get 4 to 5 people that say, I think I've heard those names before. 2 of those 5 people are going to say, yeah, I know who they are.
Man, you're giving a high number. I'm thinking like 1 to 2 tops out of 10 people.
Only because TNT's a cable network that puts on Star Wars every 3 weeks.
Yeah, but
in its entirety. So people sit there and watch it, and they're great at advertising. They are great at advertising themselves.
I get that. That's but who here lately has got cable and satellite anymore with all these, streaming services?
Even on a streaming service, though, if I'm on TNT, whatever streaming service they use, Hulu, whatever, I'm more than likely gonna see a Dynamite or AEW thing. I'm in the fucking bar doing karaoke on a Thursday night. We're watching basketball, and what pops up on the TV? AEW.
And I get that. I'm just saying, at the end of the day.
But it's my point, though, right? We are not creating new stars. We are doing nothing to do that. So a title unification forces you to create new talent. Because if you want to hold the title, you need to make yourself known. Matt Cardona. Okay? Matt Cardona is a self-made star since like 2005. He left the WWE and took over the independent scene.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Cardona, Zack Ryder was not a name you would ever think would be talked about in 2022.
No.
But yet, Matt Cardona is out there taking over the wrestling world. Matt Cardona, very, very easily, given the right platform, can be a face of the wrestling industry. I'm saying it now.
Yeah. He
and
could.
I hate to be so heated on these things.
I mean, he was one of those names that when he was released, nobody thought it was going to do much. He was going to go to AEW because of his buddy Cody, and then get lost in the shuffle. And he's been doing things everywhere else, and like you said, making a good name for himself. Impact, Digital Media Champion, GCW Champion for a while.
He beat Moxley.
Yeah.
Right?
He beat Moxley. Jordan Grace. He just beat Jordan Grace for the Digital Media Championship.
12 hours defending it again.
Yeah.
Moxley, no. I can't put Moxley on there because people are not going to say I know who Jon Moxley or Dean Ambrose are.
No. At best, when it comes to the Shield, they're going to say Roman Reigns.
Maybe Seth Rollins. Maybe.
As I say, you get Roman at number 1, Seth at number 2, Dean at number 3. As to how well you know these.
Just the Shield.
Yeah. As to how well you know these guys, you're going to get a yes, a maybe, and a no. And that's going to be Roman, Seth, Dean / John.
Okay, Ted, you're starting to annoy me. We're not talking about the women, though. Right? We're not talking about the women. And no, you don't put CM Punk on that list. The Summer of Punk was 2009. Right around that. No, it was a little bit later. But Punk was 2006. That's when he started wrestling. Okay? 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009. Right? 2011 was the Summer of Punk. Sorry, I was 2 years off. 2011 was the Summer of Punk. And then after that, he fucked off. So no, Punk's not on that list. Dan's point, Batista only because of his movies. But again, nobody has given me a name that has started wrestling after 2010. Nobody. We're only talking about the men. We're not talking about the women. Because Charlotte Flair and Becky are household names.
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte, and again, I hate this for her, but because of her daddy.
Yeah. Yep, I gotta agree.
And she's referenced as Flair's kid. It boils my blood when I think about a sport that, and other people get angry for different reasons, but they always use this line, that I devoted so much time and so much of my life to. And I look at the future of this industry, and while in just the industry it's good, but look at what WWE did, because WWE was the only one around for a while, right? And so we're going to use WWE. WWE did so much to make themselves popular.
Mm-hmm.
Did so much to be pop culture icons again. It was the Attitude Era resurgency from a popularity standpoint. ESPN was covering things. It was talked about on Sports Center, right? You had all these different wheels going. And now it's 2022. And we're not doing any of that. Nobody is. We're grasping at straws. Right? Nobody can differentiate WWE from AEW. You're programming on every night of the goddamn week. Between both companies, between the industry, there is something on Monday to Friday. And out of all that talent, all that TV time, you mean to tell me you can't find somebody that started wrestling after 2010, that Joe Blow on the street doesn't know about?
Maybe Daniel Bryan?
Maybe. That's your only maybe so far.
Sheamus?
Nobody's going to talk about Sheamus.
But other than that,
Sheamus been talked about for a year. And
tops.
He was the ginger that looked like a walking jar of mayonnaise.
This is true. But yeah, maybe Daniel Bryan. Who else? I mean, there's really nobody big in between that point because maybe Mark Henry, a resurgence of Mark Henry.
Doesn't count. I might give you the New Day. I might.
True.
You might get the New Day. And I think that the caveat to that, though, is if you find a gamer that doesn't watch wrestling, I think you might get the New Day.
True. What about maybe, I doubt this one, but the Usos? Not big enough or too much, of Roman's family, like, because you have the Rock, the whole Rock connection, like, do you give the Usos or do you just say no?
I don't know on them.
Fair enough.
They're ones to where gut tells me no.
Mm-hmm. But your heart says
would,
yes.
Not even that. They would be one that I would be surprised if somebody said the Usos to me.
I got you.
I'd be pleasantly surprised. But fuck, I don't even want to talk about Ronda Charlotte anymore. God damn it.
All right, move it on.
Only because though, right? It's pretty cut and dry.
Yeah. I mean, they started it great. Like you said, I mean, they started it great. So let's keep the ball rolling. What you should have done with Brock Roman, you're doing with Charlotte Ronda.
And I'm okay with the women's division right now. I am very, very okay with the women's division. Awesome. I'm all for it. Let's kind of shift gears just a little bit. We want to thank Manscaped for sponsoring this next. Look, that's the wrong overlay. There it is. Get 20% off and free shipping with code HD at manscaped.com. Well, there's two back here that say Manscaped. Free shipping with the code HD at manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tool for the job with Manscaped. Let's talk about MJF CM Punk.
Ooh, me likey.
And we're not going to break down the match. We're not going to go.
That's because I didn't watch the match. I kept up with it. I read the results of it. But from what I understood about the match, it was an amazing match.
We're not going to do anything other than I'm going to ask a very, very simple question. Do you think this was the right time for MJF to beat Punk?
Ooh, man.
And let me further that question. On Dynamite.
I think so, because I think it's early enough in the year. AEW doesn't really need pay-per-views to make these matches, to have a big blow-off match. Because you really want, people to view you. You really want people to get into it first before you start really putting blow-off matches and pay-per-views. I think with AEW, they're doing it right for the moment. And I think with the whole CM Punk MJF thing, I think it was the right time because I think it's at this point that you build him up for a shot at the title. And this right here is that stepping stone at the beginning of the year. Here's that big step that you need to put yourself in that picture.
I disagree. Let me tell you why I disagree. Okay. I love the fact that this happened in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, when I heard, because I forgot it was in Chicago, right?
That makes it all the better, though.
That warmed me. Love that. What I hated is it was on Dynamite.
Why?
When you're a company that puts out 4 pay-per-views a year,
mm-hmm.
in my opinion, something like this is pay-per-view worthy. Right? The first time these two are finally going to meet,
mm-hmm.
this is pay-per-view worthy. I can understand it being on Dynamite. This is like the second or third match, but they've had such a great program. they've been dragging it out pretty decently without it being all right. Get the fuck on with it, fight each other already.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, because he's been having to go through he's having to go through a set of trials, basically, if you want to count it that, between Wardlow and everybody else. It seems like whenever you want to fight MJF, you kind of got to go through a set of trials.
Right, and I'm fine with that. Right? This is the first time that they're gonna fight each other. I felt like this should have been on a pay-per-view.
Well, here's the even bigger kicker that I liked about the whole thing.
But before I get destroyed in the comments, I'm okay that it happened.
Mm-hmm.
I'm perfectly okay with it. I just wish it would have been on a pay-per-view. Go ahead.
I like the match as a whole. Being on Dynamite, being on everything, and at the same time, you had the crowd booing, pissed off, but you had them hyped up because you restart the match over Tate falling because he used Tate, to beat Punk, and everybody's going, "Oh my God, it don't count." You got Punk's fans in Chicago going, "Oh my God, Punk can pull this one out now." The MJF screwed up and then he wins it again. MJF gets it again. Like, oh, Chicago, I feel bad for you. But at the same time, it made the whole ending to that match matter. It made the whole ending to this whole feud, in a sense, pay off.
Yeah, no, I
because, like I said, now he's got this big win. He can be the one to say, "I gave Punk his first loss. I've got this huge win. I want that title next after, maybe after Lance Archer does it, or maybe after the next person." But he can say, "You know what? I want the title next."
Stop. Oh. Are you okay? This match absolutely main event Dynamite. The Brandy thing doesn't happen until Rampage.
No, I thought the Brandy thing happened on Dynamite. I think the Brandy thing happened before the main event.
I'm reading here. The Brandy thing happened right after the Moxley match. The CM Punk MJF video package happened before the Brandy thing. God.
Wow.
But anyway, right?
End of the day, I'm agreeing. I kind of agree with it. To your point.
I don't hate the fact that it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But this is one of those things where I'm not somebody that says, "Hey, every big match should happen on a pay-per-view." No, I love it when a big match happens on TV. It makes TV more exciting,
And I think that's what they're wanting right now, is to pull the viewers into the TV and then swap over to the big matches on the pay-per-view.
But this was one that I
was pay-per-view worthy. You think this was the pay-per-view worthy match?
I think this was the one you wait. The one you wait for. I don't care because I loved it regardless, right? But
yeah.
This is one you wait for.
Because at the end of the day, you're getting probably a good starter for match of the year on free TV.
Oh yeah. All right, let's talk about, because we don't have a whole lot of time here. I want to talk about the Forbidden Door. All right, we're gonna kind of rapid fire this because, like I said, we're running out of time. Just for how long I wanted to be on tonight. Who do you think is walking through that Forbidden Door that Tony Khan is teasing? Before you do that, we want to thank FanUp for sponsoring this next portion of our show. As I find the FanUp, it here. Do I have it? What happens when you do this live? It's over here. Thought I had everything over here. There it is. Fan Up is the best way to enjoy fantasy sports, daily NFL contests, and more. Win great prizes. Sign up today. Use promo code AGD for 5,000 bonus points. That's a $50 value. Fan Up in the Apple Store. All right. Who's walking through that door?
Who I'd want it to be is Keith Lee, but who I think it's going to be is another big Ring of Honor name. Who, I don't know.
Shout out to Keith Lee and Mia Yim for getting married today, by the way.
Yes. Congratulations. Big shout out.
Love that.
But yeah, at the end of the day, as much as I want it to be Keith Lee, Bray Wyatt, somebody, big name that we all know that's really good, I think right now it's going to be some more Ring of Honor talent. One of their bigger names, like maybe Josh Gresham or something. Or the one that we're not, the one that everybody overthinks or doesn't think about is, one of the big names in New Japan.
Well, because he said the Forbidden Door, and in my mind, when I think about the Forbidden Door, that's somebody with another company right now.
Mm-hmm.
I could almost see, I swear to God, I could see it being Matt Cardona.
But he's already been there before.
But it's a signing.
Okay.
That's probably one of the bigger names to walk through the door.
Josh Alexander?
Moose?
I don't know about Moose because he just recently signed a big new contract, I think, last year. I don't think
it's exclusive.
Well, yeah, but still, at the end of the day, I don't think Tony would want to buy out a contract that early. But again, I agree with you. I mean, Moose would be a big name.
But it's not exclusive. And now we're getting the legalities, right?
Yeah.
But if it's not exclusive, could he also sign a contract with AEW?
Depending on the termings, I mean,
they're private contractors.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, even if you're a private contractor, they're still going to have some sort of, as dumb as it sounds, they're still going to have some sort of loophole that says you're mine until the contract's over.
But again, we're getting into the legalities of it, right?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure it would almost be some huge name from New Japan if you're talking Forbidden Door.
Yeah, because they're going to fight, what is it, Isiah Kennedy or Kassidy or whatever his name is?
Mm-hmm. A lot of people were talking Jeff Hardy.
That one would be huge.
Some are wanting maybe, regardless of whether he had 90-day compete clause, regardless of whether, he's still contracted, Mustafa Ali just somehow magically showing up.
Yeah, Frank just brought up Mustafa Ali in the chat there. Now, you want to take somebody that's not signed? Yeah, Keith Lee, I'm all for it.
Yeah, maybe Adam Scherr, former Braun Strowman.
I'm not as excited. I don't know why.
I'm just saying, I'm just throwing his name out there,
And I love Braun, I do. Right?
Yeah.
I think the whole release the Kraken thing at the Ring of Honor show just kind of made me go, fuck off.
EC3 would be, another good one, but at the same time, he's kind of already gotten a little
Johnny
meh.
Gargano.
Ooh. As much as I would like it, I don't see it happening. I think he's more focused on. I don't think he's going to do anything until after the baby's born.
Johnny would be huge. Killer Cross, Ted says in the comments, would be another big one.
Killer would be a big one. He's been making his rounds, on social media. There we go. I'm trying to find the damn word. He's making his rounds on social media, so I mean, that'd be a huge name right there.
Very, very possible, but we'll find out.
But here's the thing, though. We're all never mind.
What?
I'm not gonna say it. I was gonna say we're all saying men here, but what about the women?
No, because they're fighting that match.
I know that's why I said never mind.
No, I hear you.
Fuck it. Who's to say it's not intergender?
No, I'm pretty sure they were pretty explicit. saying he. And
Okay.
all that other stuff. I'm
Okay.
not 100%, but I'm pretty sure.
I ain't either. That's why I said never mind.
But all right, guys, we're gonna get out of here. My blood pressure's through the roof. We want to thank Body Check Wellness, their line of products that promote wellness, balance, and recovery by using the full potential of hemp. They come in extracts, blends, gummies, and topicals. Use promo code AHUD for 25% off your order at bodycheckwellness.com. We also want to thank Dr. Paul Vidal at Specialized Physical Therapy, Burlington, Cherry Hill, New Jersey. He's our doctor, make him yours. Alan Foy of eXp Realty. Check him out at 302-682-8820 or at alan.foy@exprealty.com. Make sure you guys download Fan Up from the App Store. Manscaped, promo code AHUD at manscaped.com. Get you 20% off and free shipping. And then All Campus down at the Ocean City Boardwalk. They're giving 20% off in everything in their store, including hat, shirts, and team cornhole sets. They will be they are the home of AHUD Ramp Booth, which you can catch tomorrow morning at like 11:30 Eastern, I think it is. No Money Pot podcast tomorrow. Agree to Disagree tomorrow night. And then we are back rocking and rolling all week long with all our shows here at AHUD Radio because it is officially Super Bowl week.
Go Bengals.
Yeah, go Bengals. I'm all for the Bengals right now.
I'm all for the underdog, baby.
Mostly because if the Bengals don't win, I think my brother might cry. And as fun as that would be for me, it's not fun talking to him when they lose. You think I'm mad? But, guys, we're going to get out of here. We'll see you all next week. Make sure you tell somebody you love them. Peace, love, and joy. We out.